If you run a WordPress website, one of the tools that you've got available to you is RSS feeds. Here you can see one of my sites, and if I show you the RSS feed, this is what it looks like. So you might be wondering, what is an RSS feed and why is it useful? And that's what we're going to look at in this video. If you look down an RSS feed, you can probably spot a few clues. And down here, you can see that we've got something called a title tag, and that is a title of one of my articles. Then we've got a link, and that points to the link of that article. We have a comment section, which points to the comments of that article. And then we have other information about the creator, the time and date that it was published, the category that it's published. You can see here is WordPress. And we've got a little bit more information down here about the permalink. If we keep going down, you see that the post also includes a short description, and then we keep going down and we come to title again, and then we have a title of another post, the link of that post, the comments link, the creator, the time published, category, and there's the description. So the RSS feed is providing a list of the content on my site in a summary, and the summary is created in a language called XML. So what you're seeing here is an XML file. But why is that useful? Well, certainly in the raw code format, there is limited use for mere mortals like ourselves, but computers can take that and convert it into something that makes a lot more sense. What you're seeing here is an application called an RSS feed reader. This one's called NewsFlow. It's a Windows application. If you're using a Mac or Linux, I'm sure you can find feed readers that can do that. There's a great one online called Feedly, which should work on all computers if you're interested. If I go down to my sources down here, you can see that one of my sources is the Easy SEO News website. That's this website and this feed. So the software has taken this feed and converted it into something that is readable. So what is a theme framework in WordPress? What is the robots text file? If I go back to the feed and have a look, let's go back up to the first item in that list. You can see what is a theme framework in WordPress. The next one, what is the robots.txt file? If we go down to the next one, how to create a WordPress homepage. On the feed reader, you can see the theme framework, robots text file, how to create a WordPress homepage, and it's included the author, it's included the time and date of publishing, and it's included the short description, all from the XML feed. This software allows me to organize this type of information. So if I click onto this WordPress tab over here, I'm getting 25 articles, you can see a little 25 there, that are unread, and some of them come from my own website, the first 5 will, and then we've got some information from WordPress.org. Keep scrolling down, see if there's any others. That might be it for this group. But if I go over and have a look at the sources, you can see that I've got my Easy SEO News for WordPress tips, I've got the WordPress.org. So I've got the XML file from my site and the XML file from the WordPress.org site listed under WordPress. I go to WordPress, I see all of the content in both of those two feeds. In other words, I'm seeing the latest content that has been published on those websites. If I go down and have a look at the other sources, you can see I'm also a big fan of Liverpool Football Club, and I've got two sources, so Liverpool FC and Liverpool FC Caught Offline. Those two websites produce RSS feeds of their latest content. So if I click onto Liverpool FC, I can see all the latest content from the Liverpool FC and the Liverpool Caught Offside website. Let's go back to my sources. You can see for SEO, I've got 3 different RSS feeds that I'm monitoring. One from the Yoast site, one for SEO blogs by Href, and one from SEO Smarty. So on my SEO tab over here, I've got all that information coming in. Any latest posts that they produce will come into my feed reader. Let's set up a new item over here. Let's go to sources, and I'm going to set up a new category called ketogenic diet. Now, you don't have to know what the ketogenic diet is. I'm interested in the ketogenic diet, so I want to follow the news on ketogenic diet. So there's my category over there. Let's go to sources, and I could just click on add and type in the URL of a website that I'm interested in. Now, I've got a website over here that I am interested in, and it says it's a blog. Blogs typically have RSS feeds, and usually the best way to find them is to do a search on the website for the word feed, or you can do it search for RSS. Let's go down and have a look. That's that feed there, that's no good. That's the feed there, that's no good. Oh look, we also have an RSS feed. So if I click on that link to open up their RSS feed, there it is, looks very familiar. Let's grab it and we'll go back to the feed reader and I'll type in that URL. Click on return and there is that blog being listed. If I click on that, you can see here is the RSS feed. These are the latest recipes from that site. I can now go and click on add news feed. In the categories, I'm going to select it as a ketogenic diet and then click on save. And now you can see over here, if I'm interested in reading stuff on the ketogenic diet, I can just go into that group over here and then all of the articles from the RSS feeds that I'm subscribed to on ketogenic diet will show up. Let's add another couple of sources. I can go in here and besides typing the URL, I could type in a keyword, ketogenic diet, and then I can go and have a look at these sites. Let's have a look at the first one, ketogenic diet for health. Right, here's a lot of articles here. Let's add it to my ketogenic diet group. And I'm going to click the back button. I'm going to go back to that search for ketogenic diet. Let's just add one more. Let's have a look at ketogenic diet resource. Now, not everything you click on here will end up showing you a feed. Some of them won't have feeds, but for those that do, it's as simple as selecting them, adding them to your group, and then you can see they're added to the main news. So that main news is a mixture of WordPress, Liverpool, SEO, ketogenic diet. If I just want to read my ketogenic diet posts, and you can see there's now 60 of them taken from those 3 feeds, I can now see them here. I can click on any one that I want to read more of, and there's the entire article listed in there. If I want to go to the website, I can open that in a web browser as well. So these RSS feed readers make it very easy for people to keep tabs on what's being published on websites that they're interested in. If somebody is interested in your website and they subscribe to your RSS feed, then whenever you publish a new post on your site, that will be added to the feed and it will be pushed to their RSS feed reader so they can see the content. Do note here that pages in WordPress are not added to RSS feeds, so these are post-only features. But the first reason then that you should be using an RSS feed is that it helps people keep in contact with your content. When people have subscribed to your feed and they're reading your content, it also makes it a lot easier for them to share it on social media. They don't have to remember bookmarks. They don't have to remember to go back to the site. They just open their feed reader and it's automatically there whenever you've published new content. Another great feature is that you can get these RSS feeders for all devices. So for mobile phones, for tablets, for computers. That means that people can take your content on the go. If they're sitting at their office reading your content and think, oh, I must continue reading that, but I've got to go out, it's then on their mobile phone. So it's portable content. It all seems like a win-win. But is there a catch? What about WordPress sites? How do you implement an RSS feed on a WordPress site? Well, the good news is that you don't have to do anything because WordPress takes care of it. RSS feeds are built into WordPress. Here I am on the homepage of one of my WordPress sites. If I go to the end and type /feed, or alternatively, I could type /RSS, press return, I'm automatically taken to the feed URL, which is the feed for that particular page. And this is the home page. So this shows all of the latest posts. But there's even better news because different websites might have different categories and you might not be interested in all categories on a website. So for example, let's go to category blog. This is the blog page of my website. So this lists all the blog posts. If I want to subscribe just to a feed of blog posts, I'm currently on the category page. I can just type in feed at the end and then I'm given the feed just for that category page. So you can see the very first one here is Google Keyword Planner, no ads campaign. If you go back to the site, you can see Google Keyword Planner, no AdWords campaign. That's different from the feed that's produced on the homepage because on that one it was this: what is a framework, a theme framework in WordPress, then the robots text file, then how to create a homepage. You remember. Let's try a different category. And we'll go to WordPress. So if I was only interested in the WordPress content, just type in /feed, and that's the feed now for just the WordPress content. I also have courses that I run. So let's have a look at the feed for courses. If I go into the courses category page, there it is. Type in feed. There is the feed just for my WordPress courses. So here we are, WordPress Essential course, self-publishing course on Amazon. So WordPress comes with multiple feeds, and it has even more than that. There are feeds for authors. If you go to an author page and type /feed at the end, you'll get a feed just for that author. That's great for those websites that have multiple authors, but only one of them is of interest to you. If that website has a feed for that author, you can grab the feed URL, plug it into your feed reader, and be updated anytime that author adds a new piece of content. So hopefully you're seeing the benefits of RSS feeds and how you might be able to incorporate it into your own strategy. And if you're using WordPress, then what are you waiting for?